My dear most Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances at your wonderful lotus feet. All glories to you, my divine spiritual master. November the 14th, 1977 will be forever etched in my memory. It was my 25th birthday, and having been brought up in the West, must admit I was in a bit of an enjoying mood, expecting a few presents, etc. The day, to say the least, did not go as expected. The mood changed when a crazy-eyed devotee wobbling on a bike arrived at my home in what is now the Goshala to announce that you, Srila Prabhupada, were leaving your body. He was sent to get my friend Vishalini's milk so it could be used to bathe your body, Srila Prabhupada, after you left us. I always remember how Vishalini and I looked at one another without uttering a single word, locked our doors, and ran to the temple. Shocked doesn't come near describing the feelings of turmoil that made my blood run cold as we ran to the temple. Of course, when I look back on everything, all the signs that you were preparing to leave us were there. I mean, our major topic of conversation at that time was what you had eaten. It had been such a huge deal when the juicer had come from America, we thought, to save your life by nourishing you with fresh juices. I had seen for myself how frail your body was when you began your journey to America. The car carrying you to Delhi had miraculously stopped in such a position that I was staring down at you and you were staring up at me. I was deeply shocked to see that your body was just skin on top of bone. But somehow it never occurred to me that you would actually leave us. Illusion is a powerful entity. So there I was running to see you, unsure of what I would find, your departure being reported as so imminent. At your house, many devotees had already gathered and were surrounding your bed, singing in kirtan. It was revealed that your Ayurvedic doctor attending you had explained exactly what would happen to your body, and even stated, almost prophetically, how long it would take. This was no false alarm, Prabhupada. You were really going to leave us. And so the day passed around your bed in the darshan room of your house in Vrindavan, the place you called home. Some devotees left to perform their service or other necessities. Many did not leave. I was frightened to leave. I did not want to lose a single second of this last opportunity I had to spend in your precious presence. The whole time I was mentally calculating the hours and then minutes of time left according to the Kaviraj's prognosis, which turned out to be eerily predictive. I remember the devotees arriving from Delhi so near to the time of your departure. I can still see the look of complete shock on Mohini Shakti's face. As the day had progressed, the kirtan changed to intensity as the time of your departure approached, until everyone was chanting in unity with no one actually leaving. And then, about 7:20 in the evening, surrounded by your frantically chanting devotees, your soul left your body, and my life changed forever. At this point, someone asked to leave the room as your servants were going to change your clothes. Someone who remained in the room told me the smell of sandalwood and roses came from your body, permeating the room. Grief affects people in different ways. Outside, one devotee started hysterically crying and another slapped him hard on the face, shocking me. Not everyone allowed themselves to show their emotions so visibly. On reflection, I think many devotees were in shock. I know I was. Then you appeared on your palanquin and were carried to the temple room. You stopped in front of each of the 3 altars and devotees circumambulating your body. Then the whole palanquin was tied to your Vyasasan, where you remained seated for the night. And there many of us remained chanting through the night. Word had come from the Goswamis at the Radharaman temple that Vrindavan in its Brajabasi should get its last darshan of you. Thus, after Mangal arted, still seated in your palanquin, you were taken on one magnificent but sad parade into the town of Vrindavan, passing many of its landmark temples. The previous time I'd walked into Vrindavan with you was a very different mood, a celebration that the Krishna Balaram temple was finally opened. Now, only 2.5 years later, I felt a calamity had befallen on all of us. You, being a great planner, had already ordered a hole to be dug on the side of the front of the temple in preparation for your samadhi. How I hated that hole. So on our return from that sobering procession, you were placed, none too gently, into that samadhi hole. And there we watched helplessly as your body was garlanded, showered with pink rose petals, and then, in what seemed like such a final act, packed with salt until you became invisible to our material eyes. During this process, the devotees were passing flowers and salt out of the samadhi and distributing them to the devotees sitting above for keepsakes. I wonder how much of this precious maha still exists. After your body was encased in salt, the hole was filled with the treasured Brajaraj, the holy earth of Vrindavan. A pole was placed from the top of your head through the soil, so the exact place of your body would be known. A small mound of earth was then created to mark the spot. After all, a magnificent samadhi was to be built to honor you. What to speak of the Mangal Arti and other worship that would be performed henceforth. Consequently, after the longest day of my life, I found myself staring at the mound of earth long after everyone had left. I didn't know what to do or where to go. I knew life had changed. There was a feeling of loneliness, despair, and disbelief. And that is why I can never say I'm celebrating your disappearance day, only observing it. I'm sure there was a great celebration when you rejoined Krishna in the spiritual world. I'm happy for you, Srila Prabhupada, but I just cannot celebrate because I miss you so much. Of course, with the wisdom accumulated over these many years, and only by your mercy, Srila Prabhupada, I know that I can be as close to you, or for that matter, as distant from you as I choose. Thank you for letting me share this final pastime with you. Your servant, Moksha Laxmi Devi Dasi.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.